Welcome to a new episode of the Fandom Tea. Let's have some tea with us.
I don't know if you guys think it's relevant to talk about the whole thing about labels. Estamos hablando de etiquetas. De cómo, how, for example, like labels are quite important for millennials, but for Gen Z, they're not really that relevant. What do you guys think about that? About labels in general? One to it's okay because it's the point
What
is to
kind
discuss.
of etiquetas? I forgot how was said.
Label?
Yeah, labels.
What kind of labels do you?
Yeah.
So we were discussing like sexual orientation labels, but I think labels in your generation in general go beyond that. Neurodivergent, neurospicy. I've heard. Let's say not social media, but social groups. Back in our day, when I was a teenager, we had tribus urbanas. Have you heard about that? ¿Conocer las tribus urbanas?
Yes.
Yep.
Ahora no son tan marcadas en realidad, cada uno vive como su estilo.
En el liceo se nota mucho eso igual. Antes
Yes.
estaba muy marcado todo.
Y ahora es como cada uno lives their lives, basically. So, would you consider yourself part of any like style or tribu urbana? ¿Se consideran parte de alguna tribu?
Nope. I
O
know.
antes, or maybe before, quizás.
Uf. So many fandoms here, but I don't know.
I mean, fandoms count.
Not
Fandoms-
really. Fandom,
Okay.
we could say that it's a label. Podríamos decir que ser parte de un fandom es una etiqueta, pero las tribus urbanas tienen más que ver con la expresión,
So
with
we
the
could say
expression
I'm
of
a
your
Sonic
style.
Party.
No, entonces no. Like,
So, back in the day we had Pokémones, Life,
Oh yeah, I knew those ones.
Emo,
like classics.
Oh.
Otaku, Visual. I remember that when I was like a tween, like a pre-adolescent, like 13, 14, I wanted to be visual so bad. Quería ser visual, que les decían. But it required to have lots of money because they use lots of accessories. Si quieren, busquen ahora cómo se veían los visual. En ese entonces eran como los otakus, pero al extremo, porque usaban cosas de Hello Kitty, como que se llenaban la cabeza de pinches y todo. Yo quería hacer eso cuando era niña chica, pero no había plata, así que nunca fui. Y también, bueno, estaban de moda mucho los Pokémones. ¿Ustedes alcanzaron a conocer?
Yo
Yeah, I did.
¿Cómo que no?
How old were you when that was fashionable? 2006. How old were you?
I was.
Were you alive in
By the
2006?
what year?
I really
2006.
have some burning memories about that.
2006.
Para adelante, a ver.
Dude, I was born in that year, so I.
Oh my god, are you
I
serious?
just tell you, those are just burning memories for me.
Okay. People, if you are listening, if you are my age, millennial, 25, 27 in my case, oh my god. We have here someone who was born in 2006. 2006, oh my god, I feel so old. Thank you, Papa, for making me feel ancient. Thank you so much.
I have
That's not good.
a ver, I have a 2 or 3 thing.
Yeah, you were small, very small. Like, but you have older siblings, right? So they might have been Pokémones or Pokémonas? Do you have... Yes?
What?
No, en realidad era como, I don't know, they are really, no sé.
You could ask them. Like, ask your sister, like, hermana, were you Pokémona? Actually, have you watched that viral video of Pop Lolita? ¿Han visto ese video viral de la Pop Lolita?
Yes.
Ya, eso surgió de esos años porque había un show que se llamaba Jingo. Have you seen it? Or heard about it? Ya, Jingo era como la competencia de Mecano, que Mecano era más antiguo porque era de la onda Che. Si vieron la Teletón, El otro día se dieron cuenta que bailaban H y para eso sí ustedes son muy too young. And
Yo me sé
wow,
la coreografía, no sé así.
You do? Okay, that's great. But you weren't born there. You were born like that year 2003, 2004?
Pero ¿qué año soy? Aguante. 4.
Yeah, you were born at the peak of H. Bahia. So maybe in your birthday number 1, in your first birthday, the music that they played was probably H. Bahia in your birthday. You don't remember. Yeah. So there was Jingo, estaba Jingo, y ese era el programa que buscaba competir, digamos, con Mecano, pero ya salió unos años después y ahí hacían castings para los personajes que participaban en Jingo. De ahí salió Carol Dance, de ahí salió Canessa, Arenito, Lelo, all of those.
Programa.
And yes, it was. Personally, I didn't watch Jingo. Yo no veía Jingo, yo era más Team Mecano. Y bueno, la competencia era Mecano y Rojo, que de Rojo salió Mon Laferte, María José Quintanilla, La Cristel, etc. And they carried out castings so they could add the people who were going to participate in this. And one day this woman appeared and she said that her tribu urbana was being a pop lolita, which was a mixture between Lives or I can't remember what, porque cuando te presentabas tenías que decir tu tribu urbana, con qué te identificabas. So that ties up with the thing that us millennials are obsessed with labels. Estamos obsesionados, siento yo, los millennials con las etiquetas. ¿Qué opinan ustedes al respecto? ¿Creen que es sano eso? ¿Creen que está bien?
I don't think it's important actually.
No? Okay, why? Why do you think it's not important to label yourself? In whatever it is that you label.
Like, it's important conocerse, but being obsessed with this, it's not too healthy for like mental health.
Yeah. Okay, so you say that maybe it's good to know who you are, but not making it your whole personality, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Popa? Do you agree with that?
What?
About the fact that it is important to know who you are, to maybe have a label, but not necessarily to make this thing your whole personality. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's okay to have a label, but that doesn't define your personality.
Like, you can
It's not like I'm going around there saying that my only point or characteristic is that I'm a Sonic fan or a Godzilla fan. No.
Yeah.
You can be so many
More
things.
than that.
Yes.
It's not relevant. Like,
Ouch.
only one.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. But I do have a different point of view, however. Like, I can see where you come from, but also as I am older, and I've had this discussion with other people, as I told you before, I think the reason why us millennials, are this obsessed with labels is because we have this craving, this need, this longing to belong. We want to be a part of something because we come from a generation, or we were raised from a generation that didn't really give us something to belong. For example, nosotros los millennials fuimos criados por gente más vieja, y en especial en Chile yo creo que apunta más a un tema de una herida generacional que hay por ciertos eventos históricos que ocurrieron en el país, que hizo que hubiera una generación entera sin identidad. I don't know if you have ever had the opportunity to talk with boomers. ¿Han hablado con boomers?
Yes.
Una conversación así. If you notice, they don't really have likes. They don't have like characteristics. So, no tienen algo como que los defina cuando hablan con boomers. En el sentido de que si le preguntas a una persona ¿qué te gusta? ¿Qué haces? ¿Tienes un cantante favorito? They don't normally have those things because there was something that happened that stripped them from their identity.
Because it was necessary to represent
yes
something and be part.
and in that case, we, the product of that generation, we saw that and we had this need to be a part of something. That's why tribus urbanas were so prevalent back in my day, why Fotolog was a big thing, and social media found its peak in our generation, when our generation were teenagers. And now you guys, I've noticed that even social media, you signify it in a different way. Por ejemplo, la diferencia entre que algo quede para siempre en internet y que algo se borre a las 24 horas, yo creo que esa es la definición clave de la diferencia entre cómo los millennials veíamos redes sociales y cómo ustedes, la generación Z, ven redes sociales. Because you prefer it that way, I've noticed. No sé, ¿qué me pueden decir ustedes? Si les acomoda más que las historias y todo se borren o que queden para siempre. El feed, por ejemplo, en Instagram, you don't really post.
Como que
I
son
will
cosas
prefer
diferentes.
I will prefer them that not to be erased. I mean, it's something that happened, yeah. Even if it's something that makes you ashamed or something, but our past doesn't define us.
Yeah.
It makes us who we are.
Yeah, it depends though, because it will depend on the person. Because in my case, I'm not really ashamed of my teenage self and my young adult self, and I've actually shown pictures. Yo creo que les he mostrado incluso fotos y todo de cuando yo era estudiante, because I don't really. It's not something to be ashamed of, but when I talk with other people, they say like, oh, that's so cringe. Se usa mucho la palabra cringe ahora. That's so cringe. I don't like to remember myself when I was a teenager. And maybe you guys will experience something similar. But yeah, I agree with you, Papa. Our past doesn't really define us. And wow, that's like very profound. Pasamos de algo súper superficial a algo muy profundo. Nuestro pasado no nos define. Oh.
I think it depends.
Right.
There are things like are for a moment and others for more time. You know, like my stories are so random. Like so I can write like how I feel in the moment or random things. So that's like pensamientos del momento. Entonces, que duren poco es lo mismo que esos pensamientos duran.
Yes, and it's interesting because you have that feature now. Ustedes con las, digamos, characteristics of social media now, you have that opportunity. We didn't. So all that, let's say, random thoughts, that things that came up to our minds, we had to publish them and they stayed there forever. If you get access to my Facebook account, you can actually find posts from 2010 that say the most hideous things. And sometimes you have in Facebook a feature that is called Memories from this day. Facebook te recuerda cosas que escribiste, no sé, hace 5, 10, 20 años. No 20 años. And you will see, vas a ver que todos esos random thoughts que uno puede publicar en las stories ahora, y creo que ahora Instagram had a new, let's say, update in which you can actually put notes. No sé si se les actualizó a Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
A mí aún no se me ha actualizado, lo actualicé porque quería ver.
Like so random things. Like,
Yes.
Just random.
Yeah. Eso mismo antes se publicaba en los estados de Messenger y en los estados de Facebook. And I am actually going to look up, voy a buscar si es que tengo algún recuerdo de hoy hace, no sé, algunos años en Facebook, so you can get my point. So you have that lucky thing about you. Ustedes tienen esa ventaja de que your past in social media is almost non-existent.
like, es que son muy randoms. I want to read one. Like,
Okay, read one. Go ahead.
like one says que se vaya quien se tenga que vayar.
I love it. Okay,
Like,
so, oh my god. The Gemini moon in me is super like prevalent in social media. Look, I am going to read something from 2009. Take a guess. How old do you think I was in 2009?
Hell, I don't know.
This is funable.
9?
Like 2009, yes.
I'm bad in math.
Yeah, we have established that before. Before recording, we were talking about how much we are terrible at math. It's a feature. I've heard that if you're good at English, you have to be bad at math. But I actually had a college classmate who was good at both. So he was like, he was not human. Saludos, Pedro Pablo, si estás escuchando. Eras otra cosa, de verdad, increíble.
What was the thing?
Yes?
What was the thing? I didn't hear.
He was good at math and at English at the same time.
Yeah.
That's like impossible.
That he's not human.
Yeah, subhuman maybe. So, 2009, I was 13, octavo básico. Simse mañana the new X X, que es una carita, por si ustedes no saben.
Yeah. My girlfriend usually uses some of those faces.
Seguimos usando de esas.
They were vintage and they weren't cool anymore and they came back now. So I have to explain it. Ajaja, ahora todos los profes nos quieren. No voy a leer lo otro. X33333. So, do you see? And fun fact, now I'm a teacher. Así que yo ahí palabreando que los profes nos quieren por dar el Simse y ahora yo soy profe. It's fun.
Oh.
And then, the same 10 years ago, 2012, estúpido sol me quemó los labios. And that's on Facebook. Y eso está en Facebook. For everyone to see. Para que todos lo vean. Si yo busco, me tomó 2 minutes to find that. Imagine if I had more time. So you don't have that. You're lucky in that. Yes. So what do we think? Are labels good or are labels bad? ¿Creemos que las etiquetas son buenas o bad? Very bad.
Depends.
Depends on the situation. Depends on the label. Depends on the people, I think.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you for having tea with us and see you next week. Bye bye!